Hello everyone, I'm Shweta and I'm thrilled to welcome you all to another episode of Alumni Chronicles from PIBA. Today we are joined by Swarna. She is an experienced senior business analyst at HCLTech, working in the US healthcare domain with over 4 years of expertise. Her journey into business analysis is full of valuable lessons, practical insights, and professional growth, and that will definitely inspire many BAs out there. So, Swarna, it's great to have you here today. Welcome to PIBA Chronicles.
Hey, hi Shweta. Thanks a lot for giving me this opportunity to share my journey.
Yes, thank you for being here, and let's get started with your introduction.
Yeah, sure. So I have an overall experience of 10.5 years. So my career started basically from the healthcare domain, wherein I worked in various domains like the payment domain, provider relationships, and claims adjudication, overpayment, underpayment recovery. And coming to my core qualification, it's been 4.5 years I'm into the business analyst role, wherein I'm involved with preparing various documents like the BRD, FRD. I'm also involved in the stakeholder management skills. I'm also aware of various BA tools, and I'm expert in using BA tools like the Bizagi, Jira, Trello, etc. And I also have an experience of creating wireframes for understanding the requirements very clearly. So this is about me.
Okay, so you have overall 10 years of experience, and then you transitioned into a business analysis role,
Yes.
BA role, basically. So, how does this transition look like? What all steps you took to get this transition done?
Yeah. So I was interested into BA role since so I worked with Optum initially. So
Mm-hmm.
initial 2 years of my career, I didn't think of any switching to other domains. But
Okay.
somewhere I had thought that I was interested into communicating with various people and
Mhm.
coming up with solution to a business problem, something like that. So I wanted to transition my role to some other domain, but I was not sure to which role I should apply because that was the start of my career and absolutely I had no idea. But later on, I kept on researching on various technologies and various domains. So I thought BA would be the apt role for which I'm looking for.
Okay.
So that's where I have changed up my mind and then worked towards it.
So while you were transitioning, so was it an internal transition within an organization, or it was like when you switched your job, then you got transitioned? How was it?
Yeah, so initially I got trained with an institute with the BA, and that was a transition to a new company overall. Then I realized somewhere I was missing the practicality of that business analyst course. So through one of my friends, so I still remember her name. So she's Gajalakshmi. She has referred me to PIBA, stating that her juniors, everybody took course from the PIBA, and they were saying it was excellent. So I just checked in all the LinkedIn pages of this PIBA Institute and then enrolled for the master class, which Dibanshu gives. Like before the start of the course, he arranges that, right? So I just got to attend that master class. So I was totally convinced, and I liked the way the practical insights were given. So
Mhm.
I also like in a short period of time, I was totally convinced that okay, I will be a practical oriented BA once I finish this course. So that's the level of confidence I received. And also the interesting part was he did not. This institute doesn't allow much people to join the course. There is only limited
Yeah,
section of people and there is concentration on each and individual.
right.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, luckily I was at the right place and I'm glad that I could transition my career to BA properly. So even
Awesome.
yeah, let me explain you with my own journey. So even before I joined BA, there was a transition of BA, but
Okay.
somehow in the client rounds, I was not able to clear the core BA jobs. So I
Okay.
was more into a maintenance BA role, wherein it was not considered with the BRD preparation, FRD, or using the BA tools like I have said.
Mm-hmm.
But after joining a BA, I was able to, I'm now aware of all the BA tools. So before it was like, I used to think, oh, this is something rocket science. I have not worked on it practically. So I'm not aware of that. If anyone questions regarding this, so I used to be blank. But after joining PIBA, I know like what are the tools that a BA uses in day to day life. So I'm now pretty much confident.
Awesome. So yeah, you highlighted it well that it's not if you are getting theoretical knowledge only, so it becomes very difficult to use that when you are
Yes,
working on a live project. Practical
yes.
aspect of it is extremely important. So what was the key standpoint for this course? What was the key takeaway from PIPA for you?
The key takeaway, the practical oriented knowledge, especially.
Okay. So the
So,
case studies, assignments.
yes, the case studies and the day-to-day assignments he gives us. So, he creates such a competitive environment. So there were groups created once the course starts, and there are always people who will be helping you if you do not understand anything. And there are spot assignments given during the course itself, and he encourages people to finish it on time within seconds, so people will be just very fast in replying in the chat box. I was saying that the spot assignments that the Banshu gave us gave me much confidence in solving any problem. And after each session there used to be MCQs, so it was not like a random answer in a group, and then you would not be caught if you do not understand. He used to pick people's name and then ask them to answer the MCQs. So even that way, everybody used to concentrate a lot on the class and then answer well. And so let me once I happened to give the wrong answer. So he asked me the thought process, like what made me think in that way. So even that way, I remember the concept till date, and also I was able to change my thought process and reach to the correct definition of that particular terminology or the BA terms.
Absolutely.
And I suggest like anyone who is opting for PIBA course to take down the notes what he's saying in the session. That is very important. So once if we revise the class notes very thoroughly, that would fetch us the interview completion very well.
Okay. Thanks for highlighting that, Swarna. I would also like to know how did you plan for your, like, how did you prepare and plan for your project justification for the interviews?
Yeah. So I didn't happen to go to a new domain and then pick up some random project or pick up some fake project, something like that. So since I'm already from the healthcare domain, I took an application where I have worked, and then I made changes to it as per the PBAS sessions. So it gave me thought process to think in a different way. What if this was not automated? What if this is automated? And
Mm-hmm.
what if any new transition is made to the existing feature. So
Mm-hmm.
that way I was clearly able to judge which project to pick, and that way I was able to finish the project on time, and I also successfully submitted the project in the PIBA.
Okay.
And see, the assignments, once we it gives an immense level of confidence once we finish all the assignments. And attending the mock interview was also a big thing for me, I can say, because where we get the clear picture of where we stand. He doesn't give you like excess rating or since the course is done. These are not like, they do not opine that, see, once this course is done then we will leave out these individuals. He gives us clear feedback where you stand exactly. So we know the reality of where we stand and where we need to improve. Likewise, I prepared myself.
Okay. All right. So the mock interview also helped you a lot. And
Yes, a lot.
I would like to come back to the again project justification question. So while you were attending interviews, right, post completion of PIBA, so what was your experience, or do you see any difference before PIBA and after during your interview process?
Yes, definitely. Before, when they were asking me about the project justification, I didn't have the practical knowledge. When they asked me about the tools, I used to say something, but somehow they were not convinced because practical, I have never used Bizagi, Balsamic, or StarUML before. Only after joining PIBA, I got to know that these are not rocket science. This is something we can still learn, and they're very easy. And if the trainer is very good, so that's what I realized with these practical examples. Like people were convinced that people like I gave the project justification in a very good manner. But yeah, one more thing I just want to add on this. So even while giving the assignments, we work on a Trello board. So that's the day-to-day activity for the 8 weeks of course. So we every day log into Trello, we check our assignments, and once it is completed, we move it to the completed bucket, and whatever pending or progress that is marked eventually. So there is no need for us to again take extra time to go to online web, search for the Trello board, and then get prepared. So we learned it in a day-to-day course of the activity. So that's
Okay.
the great thing.
Okay. Thanks for highlighting all those points, Swarna. I wanted to know then once you transitioned, right, once you got into the job role, how was it working on the live project with the expertise that you got from PIBA course? Was it easy? Was it difficult? How were you managing that?
Initially, to say it was difficult, but then when I try to understand it practically, and then there are always people in the alumni group who help us if we do not understand. That also helps majorly. Someday I may not have a question on that particular topic or something, but there are people always interacting about something or the other in the group. So even while reviewing those, I used to get some ideas, and brainstorming was a technique wherein I improved much after joining this PIBA. So my thought process has changed a lot.
Okay. So it is
Now,
helping.
yeah,
Yeah, please continue.
it's been like 8 months. I'm into this core BA job. I'm still looking forward to learn new things, but I'm now in a comfortable zone.
Okay.
I don't face much difficulty now. Of course, there is hard work, there is dedicated time that we'll have to give since this is a new role transition happened and this is the core life project I'm working on. But then I'm able to do that with the practical insights that PIBA has provided. And there are always people around to help if you do not understand anything.
Awesome. Good to know that your project is going smoothly. You face some difficulties, but that is part and parcel of the transition part,
Yes,
right? And now you're doing it very well and you are eager to learn more things.
yes.
Going ahead to the next question, I would like to know if you have already started using AI tools or agents for this particular role in your company, or you're in the process of doing that. What is it like?
Yeah, I'm not currently using any AI tools, but I do have a plan to learn some AI tool in coming days.
Okay. Good
Because
to know that.
being a BA, I always want to like upskill myself. Don't sit at a place stagnant for more days.
Okay. All right. Apart from that, what are your roles and responsibilities in the current job role?
So I take part of the documentation thing, and I also involve actively with the stakeholders. And I also pitch in if somebody is not responding. And my job is to get the work done from them by any ways. Like you reach out to them by an email, chat, call. It's my job to do that. And also I am involved in getting the sign-offs for the BRDs.
Okay.
And I also take part of the daily stand-up calls.
Mm-hmm.
So these are the major things I'm involved in.
Okay, awesome. So majorly you are looking into all aspects of it. So good to know about that.
Yes,
So as you already mentioned, I mean, you for the aspiring BAs or the people who are looking for transition or wanting to join PIBA, you suggested them to take notes during the course.
yes.
Apart from that, do you also have any other recommendations, suggestions for the people out there that will be helpful for them if they are joining PIBA or if they are transitioning into BA role?
Yeah, as I mentioned again, I want to do that. Take notes regularly on a daily basis. And so the session even sometimes extends up to 5 years. So please be patient, be attentive. At that point of time, you may not get that out, but please be attentive. That may be useful in somehow in coming interviews or when you're working on your project. So time is not a constant for the trainer who's giving you here. So there were days where our sessions extended till 5 to 6 hours just for doubt clarification session. And
Okay.
also one more thing I want to highlight is so in a day when the day starts, you are clear about what you're learning for today. So that slide is shown, and then at the end of the session, again that slide is shown to ensure that these are the topics which are completed. So nobody gives that much clarity. And
Okay.
one more thing, I don't want to compare with other institutions, but I just want to say about this one. Even after once the course gets completed, nobody's bothered whether you're placed, whether you got transition, whether you got 100% assistance or not. But here there is if ever we come up with a problem regarding the job opportunity, so utmost care is taken on why you're failing on that. Even the resume preparation, there were sessions conducted even after the course is done. Nobody takes that extra time to prepare on the resume again to check on the points where we are lacking. So from our team, even survey was conducted by picking random people why they were not getting calls regarding interviews from Naukri or LinkedIn. And then there were people who got successful after this survey was done by the trainer. So even this part I want to highlight to the new joinees. This is very helpful, right? Even after the course is done, your trainer is still with you and helping you such a good job. I have
Yes.
not seen this support from any other institute.
Yes, absolutely, Swarna. I agree to your point that there is it's not only about the course, it's basically we are trying to
Yes,
build the community. So there is always help
correct.
available during the course and after the course as well. So thanks for
Yes,
again highlighting these things and explaining everything in very detail, putting forth it in a detailed way so that the BAs who or the aspiring BAs who want to go through this course will get an idea how this is structured and what all
yes.
the outcomes of this. So thank you so much, Swarna, for joining us
Yeah,
today and taking time out early morning for this conversation.
yeah,
It
not a
was
problem.
nice talking to you and get your insights and about your PIBA journey as well as your career journey. So thanks. Definitely, it is going to help a lot of, as I said, aspiring BAs or already
Yes.
people who are into BA role a lot. Thank you so much.
Yeah, one last thing, Ashwita. So
Yes, please.
there are also multiple links and a lot of content is there in the course structure that is provided by PIBA. We need to have time for that actually. There is a lot of content. We need to dedicate some time. So
Yeah.
there are multiple case studies. If ever we try to solve them, we'll be a pro in BA. That's what I say. Yeah.
Yes,
Thanks a lot
yes.
for giving me opportunity to share my experience as a BA.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much, Swarna. It's always helpful for everybody out there. Like, as I said, the whole PA community, as well as the people who are just students and wanting to get into this role or want to transition into this role. So, definitely, thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Shweta. It was nice talking to you.